Hey guys, what's up? All right, so today I'm going to talk about an interesting topic, by the way, which is I'm going to talk about mocks. And there are a lot of people who keep on asking me, sir, when exactly one should be writing mocks for CAT exam predominantly. Okay, now how it works is basically, as far as mocks are concerned, there are a lot of myths in the market. There are a lot of suggestions in the market. Like, there are free suggestions available in the market. So somebody says, you start by June. Somebody says you start from July. Someone says you start from August. Someone says, it's September, October, or like whatever, like November first week. Okay. Now, when we look at this argument that, you need to start as early as you can. Now, you need to understand that there are two ways out here. If you want to start early or if you want to start a little later. But before we go ahead, it's not early or later. It's all about understanding, which category you guys are into, or like which segment you are into. So there are two things predominantly. Number one, what's your percentile? Like if you're a student, like, if you have given CAT earlier, what's your percentile? And even before percentile, you need to understand, are you a first timer? So like, are you writing CAT for the first time, or you are repeating CAT? Okay, these are two main categories. And if you're repeating CAT, then you must have had scored something like previous year, which is like whatever, like 70 percentile or 80 percentile, or say till 90 percentile. So this is one category. The another category is going to be something to do with 95 percentile plus, or say 98 percentile plus. Okay, this is what you need to understand, to be very honest. Now, if you're somebody who has scored around about, say, 95 to 98 percentile plus, my take is start right from now solving mocks. Yeah, you can definitely go ahead and you can start solving mocks, because this is something you can do aram se. But if you're somebody who's in the range of, or who was in the range of 70, 80 or 90 percentile, then you got to hold on a bit, because there is something that you need to get in place first of all, and then you can kind of go ahead and start giving mocks. Now, how it works? Is there a fundamental rule that you should be starting mock 3 months before, 2 months before, or a month before? There are a lot of coaching institutions, by the way. They will always tell you that start your mock as early as you can. Give you one mock in the month of June, or give one mock in the month of July, and kind of evaluate where do you stand and all that stuff, right? So let's understand, is there a defined way to go for mocks? Okay, is there a defined way to go for mocks? No, there is no. Is there a fundamental way to go for mocks? No, there is no. What people will tell you is always they're going to tell you about their views and the information that they've got from somebody else. So all the suggestions that you get at a free of cost, what I believe is basically you need to understand these kind of suggestions, are they really going to help you? Okay, now there is a lot of buzz in the market that you have to write mocks, and you should be writing 40 mocks, 50 mocks, 60, 70. People start quantifying that. Okay, so basically there is no set timeline as such that you must write mock in July or September or October. There is only one thing. There is only one underlying thing to start your mocks, is how much you are prepared. Period. Okay. If you're not prepared for writing mocks for any of the exam, my advice is don't even think about writing a mock. Okay, because it's going to be a waste of time. Now, so there is no defined way, there is no structured way, but is there a logical way to kind of go ahead with your mocks? Yes, there is a logical way to kind of go ahead with your mocks. Now, what I advise to my students is basically do not touch your mocks till the time you are prepared for it. So let's say there is scenario number one, which is, so you write a mock, you get to know where do you stand, and accordingly you start practicing for your entire exam ka season, whatever is there. Okay, so you write a mock, then you start practicing. That's scenario number one. Scenario number two is you practice, okay, you wait, and then you write a mock. Now, both the cases out here, they have their own disadvantages. Okay, they have their own disadvantages. Now, when I talk about first scenario, right, you write a mock and then you understand where do you stand. Now, that's seriously not logical, because maybe that mock is so damn simple. Maybe that mock is easy ones, maybe that mock was so damn easy that you just scored very well, you just scored around about 95, 98 percentile. Even though, if I'm not talking, like, even if you do not consider the quality of a mock, what if your tukkas work in that mock? Okay, what if your tukka is working that mock and you suddenly get a good score? So here there is a problem with your understanding that you're writing a mock and then you're deciding what needs to be practiced. Let's talk about your verbal ability. Okay, let's talk about your verbal ability. Yeah, for verbal ability, if you're writing a mock which is purely based on your understanding towards English as a language, then okay, then I do understand. Okay, fine. So if your English is pretty good, you can go for verbal ka mocks, but that's something called a sectional test or something called a sectional mock. Okay, I'm talking about a full length mock out here. So which is the right time to go for? Now, if you practice, and then you start giving a mock, then you know that whatever you practice is always going to be less. So you will not be 100% prepared for your exam, like any exam for that matter. Some loopholes are always going to be there. So what's the midway? What's the best way to kind of go ahead with the mocks? What I suggest to my students in the classroom is basically do not touch a mock till the time you are so bloody confident about your preparation. Now, I'm not saying that you need to prepare 100%. Trust me, even if you prepare for CAT 100%, you cannot guarantee that you'll get 99.99 percentile. Why? Because the moment you are prepared for so many things for CAT, once you look at those 34 questions in quants in CAT, you know every damn thing. You know arithmetic, you know algebra, you know geometry, you know modern maths, you know pure maths, you know every goddamn thing out there in the paper. The problem is, given you an hour's time, how to channelize or how to strategize your time, so you're pretty confused that which one should I opt for, first of all. Because everything I can do and everything is my forte. That's the main problem. So how you should go ahead with this, you should go ahead with your mocks step by step. So I'm not saying that you should practice a lot and give your mocks, no. But if you look at mocks, okay, what are mocks basically? Okay, is it something that teaches you something? No. There is, yeah, I mean, like you can look at a question, you got screwed up, you can look at the answer, by the way, and then you can learn, okay, this was the answer, this is where I made a mistake. Okay, so mocks, according to me, is nothing but a question bank. Okay, a mock is nothing but a question bank. Now, there are a lot of people who are not 100% prepared, or there are a lot of people who are not prepared for even important topics across the exam, which is CAT. Important topics from quants, important topics from data interpretation, some important puzzle types of logical reasoning, certain types of reading comprehension, certain types of para jumble. How do you do it? How do you solve it with a minimal time? Something to do with the para completion, right? So people have no idea, and still people go for mock. Now, if you do not know anything, and if you write a mock, analyzing is going to be a stupidity out here. Yeah, because you're analyzing something that you have that you just have no idea about. So for example, there is somebody who have never touched algebra in his entire life. Okay, he doesn't know algebra, he's not pretty good in algebra, he's writing a mock, and what he's doing is he's out of those 34, he's leaving those 7 to 8 questions coming from algebra. So he's only playing on those things that he knows intuitive, or like by default he has a idea, he has an idea about it. Is that an effective way to give a mock? Is that an effective way? No, it's not. So what you need to do, when it comes to writing a mock, or when you should be writing a mock, you kind of segmentize. Okay, you segmentize your preparation. So if I talk about quants, okay, do not rush into the mock. Trust me, you give 100 mocks, you have no fucking clue, what needs to be done in the mock. You will not even getting 80 percentile. Okay, and you do your groundwork thoroughly, you do your practice very well, you give only 10 mocks, still you'll be able to cope with 90 percentile or even 99 plus for that matter. The point here is not the quantity, the point here is the quality that you guys need to understand. You cannot just get up early in the morning, or once in a blue moon and just say that, what, this class has said this, this mentor has said that, start giving mock. Bullshit. Because whatever he's saying, he must have done it for himself. You need to understand what suits you, what helps you. Simple. Are you confident about arithmetic? Okay. Do you know what all topics are in there in arithmetic? There are 7 to 8 most important topics. Profit and loss. Do you know how many types of profit and loss questions are there? Like the plain one, the trader cheating ones, the markup one, the list price one. Okay. Do you know that? No. Do you know interest, like SI and CI, like compound interest? Have you ever practiced those questions? Okay, I have done the practice. Now, the second thing is to understand is, do you know the shortcuts? Do you know the shortcuts? Okay, I do. Do you know the fundamentals? Do you even have an idea? If you get any kind of a question like from a profit and loss or interest, or say time split distance, or say time and work, There are certain questions which are time consuming. There are certain questions which are you're not going to be touching. When you have that kind of an idea, then it makes a lot of sense to go ahead and give your mock, because then you can say that, okay, you're not 100% prepared, but you're at least prepared for certain areas. Okay, otherwise you give a mock, it's a waste of time. You have no idea. You try to solve those arithmetic questions based on unitary method or a school method. Okay, you try to work it out by school method. Does it matter? See, somebody's cracking percentage, or say somebody's cracking interest question or TSD question in a minute with a shortcut and with a great understanding, because he must have solved like 50, 60, 100 odd questions of time split distance earlier, because of which he understands the fundamentals, the concept, the basic, the shortcut, and which question that he should be leaving of TSD and which question he should be attempting from TSD as a chapter. Okay, so he can crack in a minute. Now say there is somebody who has no idea about TSD. He is only working out with the school method. He'll be able to crack it in 10 minutes. What's the difference? A also cracked it, B also cracked it. Both of them at the end of the day they cracked it. But the point is, who is effective or who is efficient? The A one. Why? Because he understood his weakness. He knows which questions he is not good at. He knows which chapters he is not good at. You just cannot log into the portal and start giving mock. That's according to me, that's really idiotic. Okay, so my funda here, my approach is know your preparation. That's KYP basically. So what you need to do is, say if you're watching this today, okay, if you're watching this video today, if you're very well prepared for all the segments, I'm not saying 100%, but even if you are 50, 60, 70% prepared for LR, for DI, for verbal ability, for something, for quants, yeah, you can try for a mock. Definitely, because you know a little bit of mock. Say somebody says that, you know what, I just wanted to test myself, okay. I have done arithmetic, from last 2 months I have done arithmetic. I know a lot of areas from arithmetic. So I know the concepts, I know the basics, I know the type of questions. I also have an idea about the shortcuts. I know which question I should be leaving and which question I should be attempting from arithmetic. I also know the type of questions. If you know this much, this reduces your time and you do not do trial and error. Simple. CAT is not about choosing a right question, but CAT is all about leaving a question which is going to cause you an heart attack, by the way, So yeah, so CAT is all about which question you're going to kind of leave, and which question you will be attempting. So when you do this kind of a groundwork, when you do practice, and practice, then yes, you can go for a mock. So do not touch any mock till the time you are very well prepared. If it's something to do with the verbal ability, when it's all about the language, yes, you can go for it, not a problem. But if you're not prepared, so look at the segments. Like we've got quants, we've got LRDI, and we've got verbal ability. Okay, make a note. Okay, make a schedule. Say that, okay, I'm going to do arithmetic in say a couple of days. I'm going to do a little bit of algebra. I'm going to do a little bit of geometry. Okay, I'm going to solve some floor-based puzzles. I'm going to solve some cards-based puzzles. Okay, I'm going to do some caselets of DI. I'm going to read a bit about, para-jumble, and I'm going to read a bit about RCs. Now, once you have a little idea, once you practice, once you know your preparation very well, once you understand all the types of questions and everything, then you can go for a mock. Simple. Writing 100 mocks and scoring 99 percentile in 100th mock, it's better you practice a lot, you get your groundwork, you get your practice done very well in such a shape that even if you write your first mock in November first week, but you hit that 99 percentile ka bracket, it's equal. You write 100 mocks or you do this, it's equal. But the only thing is that I take mock as an examination. I do not take mock as a practice, because the moment I understand, okay, I'm very well prepared for arithmetic, algebra, logical reasoning, puzzles and all that, I'm more confident. So I can approach my mocks with a lot of confidence rather than just trial and error. Ki just bas dekhe dekhta hu, dekhte baad mein kya hoga. So that seriousness is not going to be there. You're simply going to wasting your time. So what's the alternative? Give a topic wise mock. Yeah, give a topic wise mock or give a sectional test, whatever. Simple. So my thing is that get your basics done, get your groundwork done so beautifully that you know every loophole of the topic, you know every question that has come in the CAT, and then you move ahead for a mock. Trust me, you'll get 100% result by this approach, because when you're approaching a mock with full preparation, with full dedication, you ought to get a good score, period. But when you just go like that, with a lot of confusion, no strategy, no pre-understanding, you're not gonna really be scoring very well in mocks. And more than writing a mock, it's more vital that you analyze your mock very well. So somebody, if Mr. A, who's been preparing a lot about all these segments, and he knows his weak areas and strong areas, this guy can analyze mock in an really effective way, rather than somebody who has no clue that what he has done with the mock. So the point is, there is no fundamental that when you start writing mocks, the only thing that I would like to advise is write mock when you know that you have practiced well. Simple. That's it. If your practice is good, if you know nuances of CAT, guys, you go ahead and start writing mocks. Trust me, you will definitely gonna get the results. But do not be in rush and don't be desperate to solve a mock. Anyway, fine. Now, with this thing, if you have any questions, you can subscribe to my channel, that's Ketan KG. You can also connect with me on my Facebook page, that's Ketan KG99. You can get in touch with me for all these things, and I would love to help you guys. But yeah, CAT is 4 months away now. Make sure that you utilize your mocks in an efficient manner. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. All the best. Thank you.